Hello there, my name is ChrisTenarium, and today I am playing The MisAdventures of Detective Butler. So, I had a few other visual novels queued up to play, but then I came across this one. 2 years this took to develop. Granted, it's in an 800 by 600 window, but I've ranted about that before. Apparently, I have heard good things about this. If you can't tell already, it's a mystery English visual novel. There aren't that many, so let's give this one a fair try. So, without further ado, let's get cracking. I can only assume there are things missing here to be implemented later on. As far as I can see, there is no way to save, which is a bit weird. This is a work of fiction. Just in case you happen to have a Detective Butler who goes on misadventures. Very, very weird chap. Just in case, you never know. Oh, there's actually proper sprites as well. That's not something you see very much in visual novels. Right, on the dark, rainy streets of London, a crowd stands huddled together under umbrellas. That sounds like England. There, they find the corpse of one more. Oh my god, they're in Brixton. Of one more. It means there must have been plenty before. Again, Brixton. Stained with blood, a stab wound to the chest. This person is unmistakably dead. Oh, we have Sherlock on our hands. And with this, I've solved it. Alright, wow. It's quite quick. He's taking a look at the body. It depends what he solved. Because if what he solved is, well, I can clearly see that this man is dead. Case closed. He's not very clever. A man wearing a trench coat and fedora emerges from behind the group, and they all turn to face him in shock. I actually like the fact that he does look wet. His hair, anyway, looks wet. That's not something you see. Normally it's just the same for everything. Who was this man? Where had he come from? Certainly he wouldn't seem out of place. His attire, fashionable for the time period. That's how they used to speak back then. Oh, he's very fashionable for this time period. 100 years from now, this fellow would look like an idiot. Alright, his demeanour. It's missing a U. Looking as if he knows what he's talking about. However, none of these characters had seen him before. I can only assume I'm a narrator with some sort of all-knowing mind. So otherwise this is a bit weird. That or I'm the biggest stalker ever. They knew not who he was nor where he came from, but they recognised him. That's recognise is spelled with an S, as everyone in England will tell you, and talked to him as if that he were any other person. You solved it? Sir, please do tell us what you know. I say, you can't possibly done so. Alright, it's not Brixton because everyone speaks like the fucking Queen. Alright then. Pretty sure this isn't how they spoke in the slums of London hundreds of years ago. Alright then. This here, it's what the bigwigs call an impossible crime. That is how we talk. If those men from the yard can't wrap their heads around it, then surely a commoner such as yourself... Commoner? I'm wearing a fucking fedora! Damn you! Also, the yard, it's Scotland Yard. It's the police, for those people who don't know what that is. Hold it. I may be an amateur, but that won't stop me from solving this. Because I'm doing it for fun. Brilliant! You could have just said you're a detective. As if the man's words hadn't phased themselves in the slightest. Hadn't phased them in the slightest. Hadn't phased them in the slightest. That was just a slip of tongue. The crowd does nothing to stop the man from touching the deceased. They're not stopping him. This is fine. This is fine. Nothing weird about this. The man reaches into the corpse's pockets, smirking once he realised what's inside. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a pervert. Oh, it's hard and 6 inches. He's carrying candles. Yeah. I know what you were thinking, you guys with the dirty minds. Yep. Just as I suspected. definitely human. If he had these on him when he died, then I definitely know how it was done. If I may politely ask, how could you possibly tell? It's been raining constantly for the past 3 hours, but as you can see, there are no footprints in the ground here, save our own. In other words, you're telling me that this body couldn't possibly have been stabbed here, nor could the culprit simply have tossed him here because there were no footprints left behind. Blood? Does rain wash blood away? Oh, gonna murder someone around Christmas then, I didn't know that. Damn it, I've been doing it in August! Oh, damn it. Alright, I'm gonna be rumbled down. Why, of course! That's what makes this crime impossible. Not even trying. Not even asking around. No suspects, nothing. Just, well, it's raining, so we're fucked. Brilliant attitude to policing. Especially from a doctor. And the same for the other victim. Found dead in his study, right? How did you know? Never mind that. Let me first explain the other victim. I'll get to this one. Right. It's a bit stop-start with these letters, I tell you. Please do go on. A priest? He'd have you down as Satan by now. Think back to earlier today. When the master was found in his study, you all found the door locked and a servant had to open it using their key. Then upon inspecting the room, you saw that all the windows were locked and his only key to the room hidden inside his desk drawer. That sounds like suicide. Am I wrong, or did someone manage to lock the window from outside? That's right, that's exactly what happened. It's impossible, I say. Yeah, a true locked room murder. This was policing back in these days. Wrong. It's not impossible at all. While the master was out this morning, the culprit used a duplicate key to enter the room. They hadn't thought of that. Well, hang on a minute. There might be 2 keys to this room. Preposterous! It's impossible, I tell you. You know, the key was made of dry ice, so it dissolved away into nothing once it was used. Okay, I'm not entirely sure when, yeah, I'm not entirely sure they had those ideas back then, but okay, we'll run with it. Then, the culprit placed some cyanide in the master's tea, which he carelessly left sitting out. Carelessly. How dare he step away from unguarded tea! How dare he! That explains why the room smelled of bitter almonds. It was said by those who discovered the crime scene on page 113. Right? Yes, that's true, but it doesn't stink though, does it? Oh, but the windows, you say? You think I wasn't prepared for that? The culprit took apart one of the window frames, making sure the window itself remained locked. Then from the outside, they reattached the frame as if it had never been touched. Slightly more skeptical now. Not entirely sure how possible that is. And so that's how the master was poisoned to death? Absolutely. 100% true. Wow, he's quite assertive of his belief. That's how this impossible crime is solved. And what about his brother lying in front of us dead? His motive was to become the next head of the family. As he escaped the house, he forgot that his brother was a trickster and a skilled hunter too. He forgot that his brother was a skilled hunter. Right. Yes, that long, boring passage on page 57 finally makes sense, doesn't it? Well, do you get it now? The master had foreseen his evil twin brother's plans and concealed a knife-throwing trap of his own front lawn. Right. This is very far-fetched. It would be activated the moment the victim had launched himself onto the grass from the secondary story window. That's quite specific. Like, this guy was such a genius that not only did he know what was going to happen, but he even foresaw it and did all of that. Right, sure. Instead of stopping the murder, he did this. Oh my god, okay. And from there, the culprit became the victim. A mutual murder carried out between the two of these brothers? I see, that's... You can thank me later. I was just passing by and I couldn't help notice it was an interesting puzzle. But that's my style. Is he going to tip his fedora and go, oh, ladies? If it's not interesting, I won't bother solving it. Ciao. Come on, this is uncivilized England. They don't know what ciao means. The man fades into the darkness, but no one tries to catch up with him. Clearly, they are satisfied with his explanation of the two recent murders, and no longer need the aid of the detective who happened to stay the night in their mansion beforehand. But it doesn't make sense. If you knew you were going to get murdered, my first priority is, where the fuck is my nearest cricket bat? Not, how can I get him back? I can put an apparatus in the garden, where as soon as he jumps out of the second floor window, he will be killed. Because I would be dead. Just carry a gun at your desk. As soon as he comes in, bang. That was difficult. Done. Alright. No, this amateur detective without a name who suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Indeed, this man was more than enough. He had matched his wits against the real detective and had constructed a theory that suited the facts. It doesn't suit the facts perfectly at all. Yes, the true spirit of a mystery novel is in the fight, the battle, the ongoing struggle between the author and the reader to see who will best. In a most classic game of intellect, the readers who merely sit back and watch without thinking are missing out on all the fun and excitement. The only question that lingered in the overconfident amateur's mind was whether or not he was really correct. No! Of course he wasn't! Okay, so it's one of these, this is my story, now look at my past and everything we did up until that moment. The man, now sitting at a modern day bus stop, flips to the next page in his book. Meh. Meh, that's what they said. Oh right, okay, so this is after. The morning after. Brilliant. Meh, that's, as I said, what they say in good old olden England. Meh. My explanation is way better. With a disgusted look on his face, he closes the book and impatiently folds his arms. Well, I'm bored. Should have brought some more books with me. Alright, I'll assume this isn't ancient or old, ye old England anymore. No, it says whelp. I'm going to assume that this guy just has a really 1930s dress style. I'll have to find something else to entertain me now. Well, count the amount of coloured cards. Every time you see a white car, it's a point, well, a run, and every time you don't, it's a wicket. Right, so all you've missed is a cutscene. As per usual, the download link is in the description if you'd like to try it out. If you want to see the cutscene out badly, it's the only way you're going to see it. You're welcome, developers, this is getting people to download your game. Right, another boring day. At least, so far. It's the middle of July and we're going on a cruise. That sounds fairly normal, but I'm not too excited about it. Who am I now? Am I the detective? Suddenly gone from mysterious to, going on a cruise, yeah, whatever. I never saw the point of one, really. Yep, I'd have to agree. But my father insisted I go with him, so here I am. How much longer until we get there? Shouldn't we be at the dock soon? This car ride is making me sick. Oh my god, who the hell am I? Alright, well, this game is called Maiden Voyage Murder. So if the murder doesn't happen upon this ship, it'll be a bit weird. Hey, Gilligan, are you feeling okay? Who's called Gilligan? It's not even an Italian family, because you've got Galvano and Gilligan. It's not an Italian name. Alright. You look bored out of your mind. I'm fine, Dad. I'm called Gilligan. I am called Wonderful. Are we there yet? Yeah, almost. You see the seagulls out there? That tells you we're getting close. So, better prepare. Oh, wow. Oh, that rendered image. But yeah, you better, ready a car for the amount of pigeon shit which is about to be thrown upon it. My father points to several seagulls flying around the nearby ocean. There's actually a story to those seagulls. From a long time ago, when my family used to live here in California, back then, both my father and mother lived here, near the place these seagulls are flying around. My mother really loved animals, so she would go to see them whenever she could. The seagulls. Not even Twitchers would be interested in seagulls, would they? Oh, a seagull! But it's like thinking a car enthusiast is going to be interested in a slightly souped out Ford Focus. It's just not going to happen. The two of them often saw those birds. That's no way to address a woman. Hanging around near the beach or harbour. Harbour's missing a U. The seagulls must have left my father with a lasting impression. He told my mother how they reminded him of his favorite's missing a U, TV show as a kid. Again, for those new viewers, don't actually think that favourite is missing a U. I am well aware of the differences between England and America. It's just a long-running joke, okay? Get this every time. Right, the one about some people shipwrecked on an island. Oh, it better not be Gilligan's fucking island. I swear. Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course! It's Gilligan's Island, and that's how I got my name. You know, imagine having that chat with your parents. So, Mother, Mummy, what am I named of? You're named after some shitty TV show from the 80s. Now sit down and eat your chips.